Welcome back to Awakening the Inner Avatar. Today, we're stepping into one of the most intense and transformative episodes in Book 2, Lake Laogai. This episode asks some of the biggest questions of the entire series. Who are you, really? What is destiny? And how do you break free when someone else is trying to control your mind, your path, or your future? This story is about control and awakening, and about manipulation and remembering who you are. Let's go beneath the surface. The episode opens with posters of Appa scattered across the floor. Aang is exhausted but determined. They get professional posters made. Aang flies over Ba Sing Se, dropping them everywhere. He refuses to be quiet. But the city refuses to cooperate. Judy returns. The same Judy who supposedly disappeared. She claims she went on vacation to Lake Laogai. She forbids them from putting up posters. And this time, Aang explodes. We don't care about the rules. This isn't just anger. It's grief. It's desperation. It's love refusing to be silenced. The Dai Li begin watching them more closely. Control tightens. Meanwhile, Uncle Iroh is offered his own tea shop in the upper ring. The Jasmine Dragon. Peace, security, a new life. Zuko finds Appa's poster. He knows the Avatar is here. Uncle Iroh gently tells him they could lose everything if he stirs trouble. Zuko replies, "Have you ever thought that I want more from life than a nice apartment and a job serving tea?" He wants destiny. And Uncle Iroh says something profound. What that means is up to you. This is one of the core spiritual questions of the series. Is destiny something assigned to you or something you choose? Jet reappears. Katara doesn't trust him, and she has good reason. But Toph confirms he's telling the truth. He's changed. He leads them to an empty building. Appa was there, but they just missed him. They learn Appa was supposedly shipped to Whale Tail Island. Aang is ready to leave the city entirely. Love makes him willing to cross the world again. But as they plan to get out of Ba Sing Se, something shifts. Jet's friends reveal he was arrested by the Dai Li weeks ago. He doesn't remember. They realize something terrifying. Jet was brainwashed. They try to trigger Jet's memories, painful memories, Fire Nation trauma, loss. Nothing works until Katara gently uses waterbending, almost like emotional healing. Jet remembers a headquarters underwater, Lake Laogai. This is what trauma and manipulation look like. Memories erased, identity rewritten, control disguised as order. They descend beneath the lake, and what they find is chilling. Rows of women being trained to become Judy, scripts memorized, smiles practiced, individuality erased. This isn't just political control, it's psychological control. Meanwhile, the blue spirit is back. Zuko corners Appa. He almost has him, but Uncle Iroh arrives. And he doesn't fight Zuko. He questions him. Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you? Who are you? And what do you want? This is the turning point. Zuko screams in frustration. He drops his swords. He removes the mask. This is identity cracking open. Back underground, Long Feng activates Jet with trigger words. Do your duty. Jet turns on Aang. He becomes the weapon they programmed him to be. But Aang doesn't fight with hate. He reminds Jet who he is. You're a freedom fighter. Those words cut through the programming. Jet remembers, and he chooses. He throws his sword at Long Feng. Long Feng strikes back. Jet falls. As Katara tries to heal him, Toph quietly says, "He's lying." Jet tells them he'll be fine. He won't. Sometimes, awakening costs everything. Aang and the gang are cornered by the Dai Li. Then the sky roars. Appa. He returns. He saves them. Aang and Appa reunite, holding each other. After everything, the bond remained. Zuko leaves the blue spirit mask behind. He lets it sink into the water. For now, he chooses peace. But the questions Uncle Iroh asked still echo. Let's take a breath. This episode is about waking up, even when it hurts. You are not who trauma or manipulation tried to make you. Jet remembered who he was. Now, something that we can ask ourselves is, where might I still be living from someone else's expectations? Now, this question, I believe at some point we all kind of come to this, especially after we go through certain periods of our lives. We go through, obviously, being a baby, to childhood, to adolescence, and then to becoming an adult. And even though for the most part, after we turn 18, we become adults, the fact of the matter is that after 18 is really when you start to kind of take that journey to realize who you are and who you will become. As we grow up, our parents, they raise us And, without realizing, I think that parents sometimes have expectations about what they want their child to be. And sometimes what happens as a child and then as an adolescent, you kind of take on those expectations sometimes. Some of us do, I would say. And when we get out into the real world, we have these views of what we think life is going to be like, or what we expect it to be like, the plan that you have set in life. And some people are able to meet that plan, but some people are not. And so we go through life sometimes going through different lessons and different teachings, different things that are meant for us to learn, that sometimes we should have no expectations about life in general. I can speak for myself when saying that when I had expectations about what I thought my life should look like, especially at my age, it is completely different to what it's like today. It is absolutely completely different. It has changed and shifted so many different times, and it's all a learning process. Basically, you have to choose to be okay with that. Because if you dwell in the expectations, whether you have them for yourself or whether you are carrying someone else's expectations, if you choose to dwell on them and life doesn't turn out the way you expected it or the way they expected your life to turn out, it can be very difficult. It can make life very difficult for you. So I had to learn, to just kind of go with the flow and to not have any expectations, to have some kind of structure of what I would like my life to be like, because life doesn't really listen to your expectations. So, this is a question that, one of these questions that can probably make you really reflect and almost change the course of what your entire life, what you thought it was meant to look like. So it's really a real deep question. And this episode certainly kind of wakes you up, or it woke me up to that, to just realizing these things. An affirmation that can help is, I choose who I am. And this is an important one as well. Sometimes we think that it's okay if our parents choose who we are, but ultimately it's our life and we're the ones that have to live it. So it's about remembering not to have any expectations, to just experience life and to have the capability and the ability to choose who you are. Destiny is not assigned, it is chosen. Zuko begins questioning the path forced onto him. Now, something that we can ask ourselves is, what do I truly want beneath obligation? And again, it's about finding your way through life. These are some things that sometimes some people don't really fully understand. Some people go through life not really knowing what they truly want out of it. Or it takes so long to realize that you think you're not able to do exactly that. I can relate, and it's because you sometimes kind of go through life thinking that it's supposed to be one way, and it turns out into something completely different. Through healing, through different paths of healing, through faith, through love, something that you really want, something that you really love, your purpose starts to surface. And it's a matter of recognizing when that happens and being in complete and total awareness of what that is. For me, something that I truly enjoy is really looking at these shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Star Wars, Clone Wars, Lord of the Rings, even shows like the OA. Just kind of looking at them, and I like it when I am completely and totally impacted, and then be able to have conversations about how impacted I was by this movie or this episode, and how I can take some of the lessons learned and apply them into my life. And so that's why the podcast, because I wanted to share this. I wanted to be able to share this with people who think about the same things when they're watching these shows. Why do we like them so much? Because in some ways we can connect to them. Now, an affirmation that can help with this is, my path is mine to define. And again, it really does come down to exactly that. It's your path, is your life, and no one else has the right to say how you live it or where you're going or how you're going to get there. It really is yours. It's yours to do with whatever you want. And it's yours to choose the right path for you. Love is stronger than control. Appa and Aang's bond never broke. Now let's ask ourselves, what connection in my life feels unbreakable? This is something that, again, it's just kind of sitting and thinking about the people that we have in our lives and the connections that we've created and built with other people. I find that when you find a person, it can be romantically or it can be a friendship. When you find a person that you can truly connect with, you kind of just become a unit. In my particular life, that person is my partner, because he is someone who I can always count on. As I've mentioned in another episode, I can always count on him, and he is someone who is always honest with me. And there's times where your partner, the person that you are with romantically, is your home. And it can be the same in other relationships, such as family and friendships. Sometimes you just kind of end up having this unbreakable bond. And once you have that, it's such another higher level of support. So, and an affirmation that can help, if you'd like to repeat after me, is, love guides me back to myself. Lake Laogai reminds us that control can be powerful, but awakening is stronger. You can be conditioned, you can be manipulated, you can be lost, and still you can remember who you are. And that remembering changes everything. Until next time, keep asking the big questions. This is Awakening the Inner Avatar. This podcast is a fan-created project intended for educational and spiritual reflection. All clips, references, and content related to Avatar, The Last Airbender, Star Wars, Rebels, and other media are used under fair use for commentary, analysis, and transformative discussion. All rights to original shows, characters, and music belong to their respective creators and copyright holders.